Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all those who have joined from Europe and Americas. Good afternoon to all those joined from Middle East and India. And good evening to delegates from Southeast Asia, China, and Far East. My name is Vatsa. I am from sesameinfo.in. On behalf of sesameinfo.in and Evental Global Advisory Private Limited, I extend a warm welcome to all of you to the virtual World Sesame Conference 2021. Hope you and your family are safe and in good health. Before we start, I would like to place our prayers to all those unfortunate ones that are not amidst us due to the pandemic. I also place on record our sincere appreciation to tremendous initiatives undertaken by some of the members of the Sesame industry in fighting the pandemic by working closely with the local governments and civil societies. Together, we shall overcome this challenge. With this thought, I seek your permission to commence the conference. We have over 750 delegates registered from 60 plus countries, representing about 585 companies. We have 23 sponsors and 7 supporting bodies that have helped us to put this conference together. We have about 3 hours of conference session each for today and tomorrow, and over 7 hours for networking, again, both for today and tomorrow for your convenience. Some of the special highlights of World Sesame Conference 2021 are 4 special addresses, 2 each scheduled for today and tomorrow, simultaneous translation in French for those guests from Francophone countries, and more interactive features on Hubilo platform for better networking. Together, all these would provide better interaction, better networking, and sharper insights on the markets. We take a moment to place our sincere appreciation to all our sponsors, partners, and supporting bodies. Please allow me to quickly announce the names of the sponsors of the virtual WSC 2021. Title sponsors, Mamta Commodities and ETG. Diamond sponsors, JKT Group of Companies, Starling Global and Ideal Limited, Ecom, and Globus Group Vyapar Foodstuff Trading LLC. Platinum sponsors, Anand Agro Commodities, Alpha Group, Agrox Gulf Holding, Arbaza, and USDA Lutheran World Relief. Key sponsors, Wing Corporation DMCC, DSN Agri Commodities, Must Calendar Group of Companies. Associate sponsors, Agri Ventures, Padam Agri Brokers, Multigreen International, Valency, Rainbow Seeds and Spices Private Limited, Rahul Agro Industries. Health partner, Idayam. Classic sponsors, SSB FZZ, SSSB DMCC, Agricola Lucas, Popcorn Industria. Strategic partner, Aman Chamber of Commerce. Support sponsor, Field Correctora Agribusiness. Supporting bodies, National Sesame Seed Association of Nigeria, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Interprofessional Sesame du Burkina Faso, Ethiopian, and Capexe. Media partners, Turkish Trade and globalaginfo.com. We thank all the sponsors, partners, and supporting bodies for their support. Here are some of the ways in which you can derive maximum from the conference. Use all the features of the platform. You can chat with any delegate speaker. You can have a secured one-to-one video call with any other participant. You can visit exhibition booths of the sponsor and interact with company representatives. You can see their videos, download their leaflets, etc. The networking session would remain open for 2 hours after the close of the conference session today. It would open 2 hours prior to the commencement of conference session tomorrow. So you can use these opportunities extensively to schedule your meeting and network with industry colleagues based on your mutual preferences. Inside the conference session, you can post your questions over chat to the speaker and also post your views and comments on subject pertaining to the discussions within the constraints of time. We would try and address the questions within the constraint of the time. Once again, I welcome you all to the virtual World Sesame Conference 2021. Wishing you all a rich and engaging session of learning, sharing, and growing business together. Best wishes. Now, we would request our first speaker, Mr. Nilesh Vira, Chairman, Indian Oilseeds and Produce Export Promotion Council, IOPEPC, to deliver his address. Before I request, here is a brief introduction about Mr. Nilesh Vira. Mr. Nilesh Vira is the current chairman of IOPEPC. This is the second tenure, the first being in the years of 2009 till 2011. Besides other responsibility, Mr. Nilesh has been active in coordinating with various government officers, officials locally and internationally, leading delegation and director of board of various associations and committees responsible for trade and business. He is director of Mulji Devsi Group of companies and in business of export-import of sesame seed, oil seeds, oil, spices, and host of agricultural commodities. He is a BTech computer science and involved in business of IT as well. Due to his varied interests, he is also in the committees of education, sports, social, and political forums. Now I request Mr. Nilesh Vira to make his presentation. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all our friends participating in this conference on the virtual mode. Our council, better known as IOPEPC, was requested to give presentation for its role in sesame seed trade in India. Thanks for the same to the team of WSC. I will talk about the IOPEPC's initiative in sesame seed sector, and my name is Nilesh Vira. I'm the chairman of Indian Oilseed and Produce Export Promotion Council, known as IOPEPC, based out of Mumbai in India. Sesame seeds in Indian perspective. Sesame seed is presumed to have originated in Africa and later spread to West Asia, to India, China, and Japan. However, cultivated sesame seed is attributed to be originated in India only. Sesame in wild form, which is better known as the black wild form, was found in India and its use as religious functions mentioned in Sanskrit and spread to Mesopotamia and then to Babylon, Egypt, China, Greece, etc. According to Hindu mythology and beliefs, sesame seeds and its oil are considered as symbol of immortality and most auspicious. What does our council do for the focused promotion of sesame seed exports? It organizes participation in international trade fairs, exhibition and conferences, biosell meet, visit of Indian delegation to various countries as a team member with the official delegation of government agencies for meetings. Creation of awareness for quality upgradation. Our council organizes workshops for promotion of good agricultural practices, which is better known as GAP, amongst Indian farmers. Training session at processing units for adoption of HACCP and good manufacturing practices, which is better known as GMP, for sesame seed processing units in India. Regional meetings at various parts in India are also organized so as to strengthen the supply chain of sesame seed exports from India. Our council also conducts crop surveys. Since over last 11 years now, the council conducts Kharif and summer season sesame seed crop survey through independent professional agencies to assess the production and quality of sesame seed so as to enable exporters devise effective export strategy for their operations. Next is organizing annual trade meet. Every year, the council organizes annual trade meet where large number of stakeholders related to sesame seed sector participate from India and internationally. During the event, presentations by eminent international speakers are made regarding demand and supply scenario of sesame seeds and groundnuts. Export awards have been instituted by IOPEPC to encourage sesame seed exporters from India to achieve excellence in exports. Our council acts as institutional arbitrator to provide speedy justice at much lower costs, thereby providing an excellent dispute redressal or settlement mechanism. For the purpose of international and domestic arbitration, the council has laid down rules in consultation with the trade and industry. This helps sesame seed exporters to engage into contracts with confidence of speedy and low-cost justice. We talk about sesame seed exports to EU, as in European Union. IOPEPC also issues certificate of exports for sesame seed shipments to EU as per DGFT notification number 37, dated 3rd of February 2016. The sesame seed shipments are checked for salmonella, pesticides, and now for ethylene oxides, which is better known as ETO, and only those shipments meeting all requirements of EU are permitted for exports. This is a laid down SOP for the same. As per EU Commission implementing regulation 608/2021, dated 14 April 2021, export of each consignment of sesame seed under Chapter 12 and Chapter 20 is required to be accompanied by an official COE certificate. IOPEPC has been nominated by Indian government as a nodal body for sesame seed exports to EU. Accordingly, the council issues official certificate, which was erstwhile known as health certificate, for each container of sesame seeds to be shipped to EU. What are the procedures for the sesame seed exports to EU? The council has online system which is called as sesame.net to implement export procedures to ensure that sesame seed exports to EU are in compliance with EU MRLs. MRLs meaning maximum residual limits. The eligible exporters are registered on www.sesame.net and are given access to create consignment. The exporter creates consignment by providing information regarding processing unit from where sesame seed is being sourced and details of the cargo, including packaging details, lot number, etc. The consignment details are forwarded to the recognized laboratories of IOPEPC with a request to conduct sampling at the registered processing unit or their warehouses at a designated date and time. Based on the request of the exporter, authorized person from the laboratory visits the sampling location and takes sample as per the procedure laid down by EU. After taking samples, the entire lot is sealed and cargo is not permitted to move. The sampler sends sealed sample to the testing centers. The samples are tested by the qualified technical person of these laboratories. The test results are uploaded then on sesame.net. The exporter applies for certificate of exports required as per DGFT notification number 37, again dated 3rd February 2016. After obtaining the certificate of export showing that the cargo is compliant with MRLs of EU, the exporter applies for issuance of stuffing certificate and requests the concerned laboratory to depute the person to supervise the stuffing. The authorized person from the laboratory visits the place from where the samples were drawn and ensures integrity of tested cargo, which was sealed at the time of sampling. The cargo is stuffed in the container and sealed under the supervision. The stuffing certificate is issued containing details of actual cargo stuffed and its seal number. The exporter applies for issuance of official certificate as per implementing the regulation of EU, which is 2020 of the 1540, dated 22nd October 2020. Based on the details of stuffing certificate, the Council then issues official certificate for cargo, which is compliant with EU MRLs. How did our Council effectively handle the ETO issue in EU, which was flagged late last year? We'll talk about that in short. Ethylene oxide, ETO as it is called, is regulated by EC Regulation 396/2005, which defines it as a sum of ethylene oxide and 2-chloroethanol, which is called 2-CE, expressed in ethylene oxide. The use of this substance is not permitted under EU laws. The permitted MRL is 0.05 mg per kg in sesame seeds. During September 2020, many rapid alerts were flagged for Indian sesame seeds with ETO beyond the permissible levels. The moment the matter was brought to the notice of IOPEPC, an advisory was issued to all members exporting to EU to ensure that their product is free from ETO residue and fulfills the EU regulations. To contain the situation and to understand the ETO residue issue in depth, IOPEPC temporarily suspended creation of sesame seed consignments intended for export to EU on their online portal sesame.net. This step temporarily halted the export of sesame seed to EU between mid-October 2020 and mid-January 2021. For compliance with EC Regulation 2020 of the 1540, IOPEPC team made necessary revisions to the existing SOP that was in place for issuance of official certificate as per the EC Regulation 1793/2019. This revision, which came in effect from 7 January 2021, required all, that is 100% of sesame seed consignment have to undergo pre-shipment testing of salmonella and pesticides, including the ETO, as per the protocol and methods prescribed by EU. Only those consignments which are free from salmonella and meeting the MRL of residues of pesticides along with ETO are then allowed to be shipped. After the new SOP have been put in place, in all cases, the exporters are clearly aware that the product intended to EU should not be treated with ETO. The root cause analysis and possible sources of contamination in India. What is the root cause for ETO for its possible contamination? That is, the possible causes are natural occurrence and or cross-contamination with chances of former being high, especially in cases where the accidents level from EU MRL is not substantial. To sum up the ETO issue in EU, India has taken EU food safety concerns seriously and is taking necessary steps to avoid incidence of ETO presence in food products exported to EU. Based on the available evidence that ETO can occur naturally or from cross-contamination, India has called for EC to review and reconsider the stand on MRL set for ETO, which is expressed as a sum of ethylene oxide and 2-chloroethanol residue in sesame seed. India has also suggested that alternatively, a separate MRL for 2CE may be developed, with a threshold of 2CE being kept at levels below 2CE levels found in ETO treated products in order to avoid rejection of products which are not actually treated with ETO. Also, it is requested that a solution is provided to all concerns raised by India. This was all about IOPEPC and what it does. This was in short. The time given was small enough so as to conceptualize what IOPEPC has been doing. If you have any queries, any suggestions, any
Thank you very much, Mr. Nilesh Vira, for that excellent presentation and also detailing very clearly the issue of ETO and the steps taken and where we stand today. Thank you very much. Just a question, which I would like to ask is that, do you have any standard contract when it comes to imports from Africa, sir?
Our council does not regulate the contracts which or the cargoes which come from Africa into India, or the imported cargoes, as we say. The buyer and seller, they design and define their requirements on the contract,
Okay,
and do the business for it.
But however, they can seek the arbitration facility that the council has. Is it possible?
They would. As long as they are the members of council.
Oh, yes, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your presence and for your excellent address. Thank you so much, sir. Please do stay with us and be available for clarification if some of the delegates would like to seek your advice on. Thank you so much, sir.